What exactly is Project 2025 and why is it so bad? The Project 2025 website doesn't tell me much of anything and the documents for it are enormous. I mean 1,000 pages enormous. The biggest part of it is that it makes the president much more powerful within the executive branch. There would no longer be independent agencies that are ostensibly nonpartisan. Like the Department of Justice, everyone works for Trump. Everyone is loyal personally to Trump. And they do exactly what Trump wants, no matter how petty or partisan. Or they get fired. There are a lot of other conservative wishlist ideas in it as well, such as very strong anti-LGBT policies, which are unfortunate on their own, but the presidential power loyalty thing is the main goal. It's a plan to reshape the federal government in the event of a GOP presidential win in 2024. It would greatly increase the power of the presidency and could be charitably described as fascism light. Trump's fascist takeover of the U.S. He wants to staff the government with toadies, ignore Congress, pack the courts, and use the military to suppress dissent. He talks about shooting protesters and make theft a capital crime. It's a coup d'état without the violence, mostly. Dismantling of everything to make way for chaos and far right-wing nut jobs. Sure looks like a highly detailed roadmap to installing a Christian fascist monarchy and the systematic eradication of minorities and vulnerable groups. It's basically a fascist plan to seize control of the government and turn the U.S. into a Christian theocracy. I'm not exaggerating. Taliban. But the American version. I think it's modeled on Mein Kampf. Basically the GOP version of the Reichstagsbrandverordnung in conjunction with the Ermächtigungsgesetz. Go watch Handmaid's Tale. Without exaggeration, it's not that far off. Overarching theme is if you're a federal employee who isn't on board with MAGA, you will be fired. I looked through the section on agriculture last night. They believe farmers and others in the food supply chain know their responsibility to provide safe and nutritious food. So bye-bye food safety regulations. I forgot. Why did we need regs about poultry and meat inspections in the first place? Spoiler alert, it's not because businesses do what's right on their own. It's an explicit plan to install a dictatorship. That's bad, wouldn't you say? On their website itself. This is an agenda prepared by and for conservatives who will be ready on day one of the next administration to save our country. The words by and for are even italicized. Hopefully you're a conservative. 3. We're on the doorsteps of fascism. They will try to restructure the government in favor of Trump's ideas. No. He didn't help the economy and make him dictator. And they'll try to get it to happen so long as they win even one election anywhere in the country. What I have heard, it is a plan to make being queer illegal. But step 1 is the president gets superpowers which the Supreme Court has already said they can't have, so I am not overly worried. If America is the 21st century Weimar Republic, then Project 2025 is start of what happened after the Weimar Republic. How is it that the people even proposing this aren't subject to legal action? Aren't they openly calling for treasonous acts against the government? Like what the actual fuck? Look at what's happening in states like North Carolina, where the GOP supermajority is systemically stripping away all power from the Democrat governor. They are going after trans and other minorities. They are also interfering in schools. Project 2025 is already happening at the state level in a handful of places. It's basically Road to Handmaid's Tale type of authoritarian dystopia. It is a plan to not only to restructure the American government and the economy as company would, be able to do business without the presidents would be the end of free market capitalism in the United States. LMAO, only way to keep a Republican from finding something out is to put it in a big document. Go watch the modern version series of The Handmaid's Tale. That's it. That's all you need to know. They want to create a real and modern Gilead. Seriously. It's the Russian plan to take over the US. Shit, first time I am learning about it, but it is scary as hell. Genocide. If you have only one word to express how horrific it is, that's the one. They should stand up a private militia and call them humble men to spite the Proud Boys. Not even from the US, but all of that sounds fucking terrifying. Right-wing groupthink bullshit tasked with undermining the integrity of our government. It's just straight-up mask-off fascism, actual honest-to-God no hyperbole Nazi shit. Wow, so many bots. For a good explanation of this, check out the I Hope You Find Your Dad TikTok on it. Some of her stuff is pretty silly. Just keep looking. It's worth it, I promise. Scary and just awful. Our democracy is at risk if Trump is re-elected. Just another step to making America a dictatorship under fascist leadership. Thousand-year Reich reign. Wow, this is the first time I've heard of this and it's terrifying. It would officially be the end of a democratic United States. Worst reboot of Swing Kids ever. Vote for the love of democracy. Vote check your registration. Repeatedly remind your friends and family to vote. And donate to voting rights organizations if you can. It introduces an significantly more authoritarian and theocratic, specifically Christian, but really, whatever religion is in the majority would get to decide. So if 100 years later Islam gains power, we would be facing that system of political control. Literally the opposite of what the country was founded to be. It is a plan by conservatives to better implement conservative policies this time around by eliminating and weakening dissent and democratic institutions that get in the way. Which is what fascists do. Essentially, the idea is to make the Republican Party in its most extreme views religion, guns, anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ the de facto state of government in perpetuity, with the president becoming a dictator with the utmost authority and power. And everyone swearing fealty to him. From what I understand, there's even a section that states everyone agrees or we kill every male. Basically, the end of the United States as we know it. It's the Republican plan to turn America fascist. It's QAnon for shit libs. The architects of this plan are inviting conservatives to submit their resumes, and from that list, they plan to replace all the career civil servants across the vast administrative state with ideologues who have no institutional experience. And they plan to do it all at once. This would be catastrophic and it can't really be overstated. All leftist Reddit strikes again. A lot of great answers here, but fuck Project 2025 is fucking horrifying. That it even exists shows us that there's far too many would-be fascists with way too much power. The biggest thing for me is that they want to genocide trans people. We're just trying to live life. And they want to make it illegal for us to exist. I feel like all the unhinged, unsourced takes here are the best evidence yet that it's probably not that bad. Okay, let me guess. There is only one party that can save us from this existential crisis. Geez, people will believe anything if it's written down. Something that is never gonna happen. Reading through this comment section is a reminder of what a leftist shithole Reddit is. Democrats are going to pretend this thing doesn't exist out of pure laziness.